The middle class is a sizable and diversified group of people who are frequently perceived as being stable financially. Yet, what ties them all together is the conviction that they each possess particular qualities that would enable them to achieve their goals in life. Unfortunately, the middle class has many misconceptions about what assets they actually have. What if those things were preventing you instead? What if these assets turned out to be liabilities instead? What if the resources you believed you possessed weren't real? In this financial video by Finance Aligned, we'll be discussing 7 things that the middle class thinks are assets but are not, and you'll be shocked at what number 7 is. So stay tuned as we dive into the 7 things the middle class thinks are assets but are actually not. Let's get started. 1. Saving money instead of investing. The middle class extremely believes in saving since they are more comfortable risking less, rather than risking more in investing. Yet, unlike what the majority of the middle class thinks, saving isn't the ultimate goal of wealth. Unfortunately, much of the middle class would rather let their money sit comfortably in banks, which only lessens their purchasing power over time. The idea of saving is a far-fetched strategy towards making any wealth. Since money is a dynamic medium of exchange of commodities, it has circulating tendencies. Thus, it shouldn't be hoarded but multiplied. Multiplying money instead of saving is the true secret to wealth. 2. Your home is your biggest liability. Most of us picture wealth with having a huge house and cruising the streets in luxurious cars. The truth is that owning a home may not be considered an asset by a liability. The famous Rich Dad Poor Dad has been praised for being a remarkable financial encyclopedia that has forecasted the success of many resilient entrepreneurs. Unlike most people, the high class has maintained the discipline of categorizing their assets and liabilities. Things like cars, houses, and TV screens all fall under the liabilities category, since they do not bring in any money into your pocket but instead take out money from you. Once you master the art of managing your household finances like a business, you are in a better position to avoid the blunders most of the middle class fall into. To avoid getting caught up in such scenarios, we ought to invest more in our financial knowledge and money in general. When planning to buy your dream home, don't forget to seek qualified advice from financial advisors who would give you a better insight into smart and reasonable liabilities and assets. Sometimes we make these mistakes due to negligence. A smart man will always inquire and research before making such a decision. Only a foolish man has a solution to every problem. Number 3. The middle class spends first, then invests later. Imagine cashing out $50 to $100 a month to service your car loan when instead you could have invested the same amount into stocks and bonds and earned dividends from them. The smarter move is to channel money into investments as early as possible so you start enjoying the cash flow from your assets. It requires utmost discipline to correctly manage your funds and stick to your priorities and plans. When you receive your monthly income, do you start spending first? Or do you invest? And how does this work for you? Following experts' review on the steps we take using our income, with those with tendencies to invest their funds first have shown higher rates of generational wealth. The trick here is to be consistent because eventually, the bit-by-bit investments turn out to become something sensible at the end of the day. For those of us who opt to spend first, most of them end up slaves of work, since they have to work to be able to sustain their constant needs. Your view on spending and investing plays a big role in moving you up the social ladder. Some narratives state that we are worth how much we remain with after spending. Adopting this will upscale our thinking and place us in the trajectory of scaling up from the middle to first class or low to high class. The trick is spending after you have already invested. It might take a while to start reaping the benefits, but eventually, you will come to terms that the tip works wonders. Number 4. Formal education. Ever wondered why A students end up working for C students? The obsession with education within the middle class is alarming. Maybe because of the belief that their investments in formal education determine their wealth. But if the secret to building wealth was excellent grades, then every first-class graduate would be a multimillionaire. The mass affluent know that financial success has little to do with your ability to memorize textbook information. Instead, they believe that gaining specific knowledge about things like how to invest or network with powerful people has a stronger impact on their net worth. Street smarts actually have a higher chance of making it compared to book smarts. School is tuned to prepare you for a 9-to-5 setup, but general knowledge gives you tools to face the world and explore different aspects of life. If you don't believe it, take a look at some of the world's top billionaires. They have little formal education. Most of them are college dropouts who decided to pursue their dreams instead of wasting years in school. Great examples are Apple co-founder Steve Jobs and Dell Technologies CEO Michael Dell. Universities are becoming irrelevant by the day, so instead of getting huge student loans that you can't service, consider taking up an online course in your field of interest that will strengthen your skills in that field. If you need some inspiration, Bill Gates has credited much of his success to reading 50 books a year. So don't be scared to learn on your own. Number 5. The more money, the worse the character. The idea that money is the root of all evil is something that continuously enslaves the middle class. Contrary to this popular belief, the more money you have, the more problems you'll have. I believe that this belief is untrue. Money can also bring out positivity and seriously change people and family lives for generations. It's unfortunate that most individuals relate vast wealth to greed, corruption, and oppression, among other vices, but that is not the case once you familiarize yourself with wealthy individuals. The truth behind this belief is that money is, in any case, the issue, but the individual is. Vast wealth only brings out the true character of an individual. If you were greedy before, once you get financial freedom, you will become greedier and vice versa. So the goal is to cleanse our minds and transform our thinking. If you are just a kind individual, money will more likely highlight your virtues. So you better invest wisely and learn to distinguish between humility and poverty. Hey, tell me other things the middle class think are assets but are not. Let me know in the comments section. Number 6. Getting rich is not a personal decision, but a matter of fate. The average individual views getting rich as a matter of chance and luck, therefore limiting not only their thinking but also their overall performance. Speaking out of experience, many people in the middle class relate their wealth to their professional skills, home ownership, and formal education. This is a mindset that will get us nowhere in the corporate world and would leave us stagnant in the middle class for life. Once you're unable to break the ice and change your perspective of thinking, you are doomed and will only keep wondering how lucky your higher class counterparts are. Once you can embrace the fact that you're responsible for your status, you're one step closer to enjoying financial freedom. You just have to identify and fill a gap in society, and in no time, you're a millionaire. Whatever you venture into, you first have to be able to convince your mind before executing your plan. You manifest what you think. That's why it's important to always stay positive. Instead of focusing on new ways to cut down on your groceries and monthly expenses, try brainstorming on new ideas that have the potential to fill a gap in the entrepreneurial world. Number 7. Are white-collar jobs an ideal venture? Surely a 9-to-5 job can provide a pretty comfortable job, but it's undeniably not the most feasible way to get wealthy. While the middle class complies with their back-breaking job to climb up the ladder, the rich make it their goal to own one. People in the middle class believe that there's no other way to financial freedom unless they get employed, having a paycheck every month. They tend to desire to establish a good career since it was something that schools and universities fed their mind. On the other hand, wealthy people know their way to financial treasures. They make it their goal to build up a business and eventually create job posts for the middle class. Some rigid thinking of the middle class is what keeps them stagnant and unable to ascend to the higher economic ladder. If you're among these middle class people, learn how to get out of your comfort zone and be willing to take even a little bit of risk. This is the first step towards wealth beyond imagination. So at this point, you know what assets are from liabilities, but if you are really serious about making your financial freedom a reality and not just a dream, then the next video is for you. What are you waiting for? Click over and let's get started. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Kindly let me know what you think about this video in the comments section below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more educational content like this. See you next time. Thanks for watching.